How you guys liking this Call of Duty? How you guys liking the salt that you see on Twitter here recently? You know, it is crazy. The closer we get to the end of this Activision deal, I don't know what I'm going to name this video yet. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I saw some really interesting stuff over there at Windows Central. They were making articles about it, so I felt like this is a really good conversation that, you know, me and my community can have. You know, we all know we tired of this Activision deal. I'm tired of it. But when stuff relevant comes out, we got to talk about it. And I personally feel like, you know, what we're about to talk about now is what is going to happen when this deal is done. This deal is pretty much done. There's no denying it at this point, you know. It's even more done when I'm about to show you this tweet. So let me show you this tweet. This was made by Activision Blizzard King. Let me go ahead and put this up because I feel like that GIF will, distract you guys. All right, so as you can see, let's read along. It's awesome to see an anticipation building for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 as we continue to work towards approval of the Microsoft deal. We've been getting some questions whether our upcoming and recently launched games will be available in Game Pass. While we do not have plans to put Modern Warfare 3 or Diablo 4 into Game Pass this year, once the deal closes, we expect to start working with Xbox to bring our titles to more players around the world. And we anticipate that we would start beginning adding games to the Game Pass sometimes in the course of the next year. All right, so I think we can all agree right there. That is pretty much Activision come out there and saying, yo, this deal's done. You know, the deal's probably already done behind closed doors. It's just they are officially coming out to an announcement to say it's done. You know, it's rumored that's going to happen the end of this week. We'll see. Activision is low-key coming out there like this deal's done. This is what we expect to happen after the deal's done. Because, you know, I can only assume they're going off of what Microsoft has told them, what their expectations are to happen to their games and to their brand. So then, you know, right there, they pretty much say, you know, don't expect Diablo and Modern Warfare 3 off the bat coming into Game Pass. And they kind of give a little bit of like expectations set there. It's like, you know, we're going to start putting our games on Game Pass, but don't expect all of them, if not any, right when the deal ends. That's how I would have took it. But then Jez Corden over there at Windows Central, and he says, our sources indicate surprisingly nobody that despite Activision's statement, you can expect to see a bunch of Activision stuff hit Game Pass as soon as the deal is finalized. What would you like to see hit Xbox Game Pass? You know, answer that question right there for you, Jez. I want to see the Crash Bandicoots in Game Pass day and date because I ain't played a lot of the newer ones like Crash Bandicoot 4, like Warp of Time or something. Put in the comment section below what you guys would want out of their bundle of games that they've made currently or have, you know, worked on in the past. I'm curious to hear you guys' opinion. So right there, you know, kind of says like, Jez is like, look, you know, I want you guys to know that my people is just telling me to expect a huge portion of their games come to Game Pass day and date. Now, obviously, we don't know exactly what it is. There's some back-end stuff that I'm sure Microsoft has to do to make sure that it runs functionally, because they could obviously just switch stuff over, but, you know, making sure it works correctly in the store, making sure it's correctly tagged, I'm sure that takes time, and they're not just going to release that for nothing. I do think that in some form there will be some marketing terms going around here. Obviously, you can drop some of the games like the Crash Bandicoots, the Spiral games. Those probably ain't gonna, you know, throw a whole lot of waves going. But as far as like some of the popular Call of Duties, I would say that if those don't come day and date with this deal, I would expect you to see that in the next 6 months, because not only do they have to do stuff on the back end, it would make more sense marketing wise to hold the big guns for like a bigger event, maybe the Video Game Awards. I doubt it, but you know, you could see stuff like the E3 of next year where they announce every Call of Duty, including the next Call of Duty, is coming in the Game Pass, or they might surprise us and every Call of Duty comes in the Game Pass going into this event. Now, obviously, we're going to probably see some kind of round table that we saw with Bethesda, where that's when Phil Spencer officially confirmed that Bethesda games would be exclusive. I'm very curious to see what they do with that. I'm assuming they're going to get something similar. We will probably see something like that in vague, because they're going to have to, you know, communicate with the community what this deal means, especially to the Xbox gamers that's in their ecosystem, and how does this deal benefit them. I would expect you to see something like that as well. And then out of nowhere, this was reported, so let's switch over here. Exclusive head of Xbox acquisition. Ahead of it, Bobby discussed Microsoft's Elon Musk Neuralink. I don't know what that's about. That's probably not gaming related. And they hinted at a Guitar Hero revival is in the leak review. So first off, that's insane, because that shows that, look, maybe Guitar Hero wasn't going to come back unless Microsoft bought them, because it does look like, you know, already Microsoft is greenlighting stuff, or, you know, just discussing with Bobby what they would like to greenlit when the deal is done. Now, I don't know exactly what that means, that they would bring back Guitar Hero. How big would it be? Would it, you know, would they try to evolve it, or would they maybe, you know, redefine the technology that went into Guitar Hero? Because I remember Guitar Hero used to be a phenomenon. It used to be a huge game. I just don't know if that, you know, gameplay model where you have to go out and buy the guitar and stuff, I don't know if that would work in today's age. But we have been seeing a resurgence of older games coming back in a newer way, so I'm kind of curious what they would do in terms of the technology, because you could play Guitar Hero on the controller, but would you want to? Probably not. Look, if Bobby's having meetings talking about maybe particularly some games will come back, some games won't. I don't know if they were talked about any games not coming back. If he's talking about the transition between Microsoft and Activision's deal finally concluding, and Activision is making tweets talking about what you should expect from Call of Duty after the deal concludes, I'm sorry if there's still some haters in this video at this point. We almost 8 minutes into the video. This deal is going through. 100% going through. Activision would not be tweeting this if they didn't think this deal was going through. At this point, it's probably, when is the paperwork going to be signed? You know, we're going to see some of their games come out to Game Pass the moment this deal is done. I would expect us to see some form of an event just like they did with Bethesda. And at that point, that's when you will really celebrate. But, you know, put in the comment section below what you guys think. Do you guys think that, you know, this deal is going to end sometime this week? Or do you guys think that maybe it's going to take a couple more months? And what do you think is going to happen when it does conclude? Do you think a huge portion of the games from Game Pass is going to come in? Or is it just going to be small portions that they're going to do throughout the next 6 months? Definitely curious to hear you guys' opinion about that. And, you know, appreciate everyone for supporting. You know, if definitely like the video, hit that like button. Always appreciated. You can always sub to the channel for weekly content. Pretty much make videos every day of the week. Most of the time I stick away from the weekends. But I appreciate everyone for coming through. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.